Once upon a time, in a kingdom where the mountains touched the clouds and wildflowers covered every hill, there lived a young princess named Serene. She had hair like spun gold and eyes as green as spring leaves. She was the only child of King Aldrich and Queen Marin. They loved her more than all the treasures in their castle.
You make us so proud, my dear Serene.
We couldn't ask for a greater joy.
But Serene was not like other princesses. She did not spend her days embroidering or learning to dance. She loved to ride horses through the forests. She loved to climb the old oak trees in the royal gardens. Her parents worried about her wild spirit. Still, they could never stay angry when they saw how happy she was. She often ran barefoot through the meadow grass. The people of the kingdom adored her.
I hope the harvest is bountiful this season. Let me know if you need anything from the kingdom.
She always stopped to talk with the farmers. She played with the village children whenever she could.
Catch me if you can! Over here, Serene!
That was a fun game, wasn't it?
On the northern edge of the kingdom stood a tower made of black stone. No one ever visited it. It had been there for as long as anyone could remember. It was older even than the castle itself. The old stories said a powerful wizard had lived there many years ago. When he died, he placed a curse on the tower. Anyone who entered would be trapped inside forever. They would be unable to leave or call for help. King Aldrich ordered everyone to stay away from the tower. He made Serene promise when she was just a little girl that she would never go near it. She kept that promise faithfully for 17 long years. But on the morning of her 18th birthday, something strange happened. Something that would change everything. Serene woke before sunrise. She looked out her window. A golden bird sat on the stone ledge. It was the most beautiful creature she had ever seen. Its feathers seemed to glow in the early light. The bird looked at her with intelligent eyes, then it flew away toward the north. Without thinking, Serene threw on her riding clothes. She climbed down the ivy that grew along the castle wall. She ran through the sleeping village. She ran into the forest. Morning mist clung to the ground like ghostly fingers. The golden bird stayed just ahead of her. It led her deeper and deeper into the woods. At last, they reached the black tower. The bird flew through an open window near the top. It disappeared inside. Serene stood at the base of the tower. She was breathing hard from the long run. She stared up at the dark stones. They seemed to swallow the light. She remembered her promise to her father. She knew she should turn back. But something pulled at her heart like an invisible thread. Her feet carried her forward. She reached the heavy wooden door. The door swung open at her touch. It made a sound like a sigh. Inside was a spiral staircase. It climbed up and up into the darkness. Thin beams of sunlight came through cracks in the stone. Serene climbed the stairs. Her heart pounded in her chest. The higher she went, the colder the air became. At the top of the stairs was a round room. It was filled with dusty books and strange glass bottles. In the center of the room stood a young man. He was frozen like a statue. His eyes were open. They were blue as a summer sky. His face was handsome. It was filled with such sadness that tears sprang to Serene's eyes. She stepped closer. His clothes were old-fashioned. They were the kind people wore 100 years ago. Frost covered his hair and eyelashes. The golden bird flew down. It landed on Serene's shoulder. Suddenly, she heard a voice in her mind. It was gentle and musical. The bird spoke. "He is Prince Cadmus," it said.
He was cursed by the wizard. He must stand frozen until someone with a pure heart comes to free him.
Serene asked how she could break the curse. The bird told her what must be done.
She must give freely what she treasures most. It must be a gift.
It had to be a sacrifice made from love, not from duty. Serene thought of many things. She thought of her freedom to run wild. She thought of her beautiful horse. She thought of the golden locket her mother had given her. Then she looked at the frozen prince's face. She understood what she had to do. She reached up and touched the bird's glowing feathers. She spoke softly.
I give you my freedom, little bird. No one should be trapped like this, not even to keep my wild heart happy.
The moment the words left her mouth, the bird burst into light. 1,000 points of gold filled the room. They swirled like falling stars. The lights settled on the prince. The frost melted away. He drew in a great gasping breath. He stumbled forward. Serene caught him before he could fall. Prince Cadmus looked at her with wonder. He asked who she was.
How long, Lily? How long have I been trapped here?
100 years have gone by.
100 years? Everyone I knew is gone. My parents, my friends, my whole world is turned to dust. I stood here like a piece of furniture.
You have a new world now, one that still holds light, possibility, and life. You are not alone.
They climbed down the stairs together. The black tower began to shake. Cracks spread through the stone. They ran out the door just in time. The tower crumbled into rubble.
The curse is finally broken.
Serene brought Cadmus back to the castle. King Aldrich and Queen Marin listened to the story. They welcomed him as an honored guest. They gave him a room in the West Wing. Its windows looked out over the gardens. At first, the prince felt lost in this new time. Customs were different. Words had changed. Serene stayed by his side. She showed him how to live again. She taught him how to laugh. She reminded him that life was a gift. Weeks turned into months. Cadmus smiled more often. Serene found herself looking forward to every moment with him. They rode through the forests together. They sat in the garden at sunset, the sky filled with orange and pink. One evening, they walked along the castle walls. Stars filled the sky. Cadmus turned to her.
You gave up your freedom for me. I do not understand why.
Freedom is not lost when it helps another. And I found something better. I have found a friend, Prince Cadmus. Someone who understands the loneliness I feel, even here.
Cadmus took her hand. He said he felt the same. Perhaps it was more than friendship. His heart beat faster when she was near. They were married in the spring. Wildflowers covered the hills in color. The whole kingdom celebrated. They honored the princess who broke the curse. They honored the prince given a second chance. King Aldrich gave them a small castle. It stood where the mountains met the sky. They lived happily there. They rode through forests. They climbed old trees, just as Serene always loved. And that is how they lived, happy, free, and together.